So this is test review questions 24 and 25. 24 is change the mixed fraction to an improper fraction. And so we have 13 and 9/10. So the way to do this is you multiply 10 times 13. So that's a multiplication. That's going to be an X for multiply. And then up here, after you multiply, you get an answer, and you'll add the number 9 to that answer. So let's look at what that is. If we have 10 times 13, and we get an answer, 10 times any number, you just add a 0 to that number. So that will give us 130. And then you add the 9 to the 130, and you get 139. That becomes your new numerator. 139. And that goes on top. A numerator goes on top of the fraction. So let's write out the new fraction of 139. The denominator stays the same. Nothing happens to the denominator. Just 139 over 10. So you can think of it as sort of a wheel times that direction and then add. So 10 times 13 plus 9. 10 times 13, which is 130, plus the 9. So then 139 becomes your new numerator. You put it back over the denominator because that stays the same. The 10 stays the same. Okay? Sometimes I like to write it as 10 times 13 plus 9, and then you're putting it back over that 10. Either way, that's how you solve that one. Now down here on number 25, you have an improper fraction, and you're going to change it back to a mixed fraction. Okay, so you're changing it to look, it has a whole number. Anytime you have a large number over a smaller number, that's an improper fraction. Also, if you have 4 over 4, that's improper. It equals 1. If you have 5 over 5, it's improper, but it equals 1. So anytime you have a fraction equaling 1 or higher, then it's improper. Okay, so the process with this is you're dividing 4 into that 22. 4 is divisor, 22 is dividend. So you set it up as 4 into the 22. And you have to have a remainder when you're making mixed fractions. You're not going to use decimals. So this is the dividend. So 4 into 22, that's 5 times 4 is 20. You multiply that, put it down there, and subtract to get 2. That's your remainder. And when you're making an improper or mixed fraction, you take your remainder, that becomes the numerator. So let's put a little here. Line there, and that becomes a numerator. So this one here becomes the whole number. Wait. That one becomes the whole number. It came out brown, but 5 is the whole number, 2 is the numerator, and you put that back over the 4, the original denominator. So this then is the denominator. Okay, so when we build that fraction, it will look like the whole number 5, because 4 goes into 22 5 times, 5 whole pieces, and 2 is the fraction or the bits left over, that remainder. 2 on the numerator, back over the 4 for the denominator. That doesn't change. And you can reduce this part of the mixed fraction. Whenever you can reduce the second part of the mixed fraction, reduce it so that you're completely reduced to lowest terms. So then the whole mixed fraction will look like 5 1/2, because 2/4, if you were to divide the top by 2 and the bottom by 2, you get 1/2. So that is the ultimate answer to that problem, is 5 1/2. Let's see if we can box these problems. That one is this, and this one is that. Okay.